Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to go over some footage from an interview that we got from True Temper Sports in Memphis, Tennessee last weekend. We went down there for the St. Jude Invitational, the WGC tournament that Brooks kept the one. Congratulations to him. So we're going to go over some footage from the robot and an interview. The interview we're going to break up into two parts, just otherwise it would get a little bit too long. So make sure you like and subscribe and continue to follow us. We're going to be bringing a lot more good content in the next coming months. So here we go. Enjoy. Thanks a lot.
Came to Memphis to see Leaf, and he has a song for everyone back at Dulce.
Hooters has a birthday song. Ain't you short, ain't you long. Sing it right, get your wishes, sing it wrong. Do the digit sound of happy birthday to you.
Hey everyone, we're here with Bill Lange of True Temper Sports, Senior Director of Product Development. So we're going to start off with all the more playable, forgiving driving irons on the market. Do you have any plans to make a driving iron specific graphite shaft?
Well, we found so far that a lot of people have gravitated towards heavier hybrid shafts in those clubs, and we've done both some 370s, some 355 versions of like Hazardous Black, for example. That's been a really popular one on tour, and the 105 in the marketplace, the 85, and then same thing on the Even Flow Blue hybrids. For our amateur golfers, the 80-gram hybrid has worked well for that type of club, and then on tour we go a little bit heavier weights. So I think for now, with that success, using those in there, I think we're going to stick with the hybrid shafts for that line.
Do you plan to release any of the heavier tour weights to retail? Because those, for my clientele specifically, they seem to be fairly popular.
Yeah, certainly. As part of our Performance Fitting Center program, all of our dealers have access to some of those one-off tours. They're not always available, but from time to time, we do make them available for our network. Yeah, for sure.
Cool.
For both woods and these hybrids that I was talking about too.
Awesome. That's great info to know. What are some challenges with making a high launch, low spin shaft, and why is it so difficult, and does something like that even exist?
Well, that's a great question. You know, obviously that's the holy grail for distance, as we know. Max carry is better than hitting that low runner and trying to rely on how far it's going to roll on the ground. Conditions change all the time, so you cannot base it on that. Now, those two things from a design standpoint don't really gel together. And what we're seeing now too is different swing profiles create completely different results. We have low launch shafts that some players will hit higher just because of how they deliver the club on their swing, and then the opposite of that. So that's a challenge. We are continuously trying to find that good ground of optimal launch and optimal spin. So we're not going to qualify it as high, low, it's more optimal. We try to use that kind of terminology because my optimal is different than your optimal, it's different from somebody else's optimal. So to try not to put it in a box and say high and low, it's just we kind of look at optimal and try to achieve that through our different designs.
For sure. I kind of feel like that high, low, mid is maybe a little outdated. You know, that was kind of back for more when you had 3 shaft options and you had a high, mid, and low option. Now, the technology has gotten so good that there's so many options on the market, and not one shaft is going to fit everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What is torque, roll, and shaft dynamics, and why is it important?
Well, that's another good question. Torque's role has changed over the years.
Used to be feel.
Well, now it's feel. Used to be dispersion, control, and everything. When I first got into the business 20-something years ago, I was a customer service rep at one of the distributors selling shafts, and graphite was, not as good as it is now. So if all the shaft manufacturers were making lower torque graphite shafts to be more stable, and everybody kind of bought their shafts based on the torque rating. If it was higher, it was considered a poor quality shaft. If it was lower, it was considered good, because there was this kind of mystique out there that if it wasn't low enough, then the club face was going to open and you're going to spray it all over the place. I think over the years that materials have gotten better, manufacturing processes have gotten better. From True Temper's standpoint, we use torque really for fine tuning and for feel now. So if you look at some of our more recent designs, especially our higher end stuff, the handcrafted line, the small batch line, we're bumping that torque up to 4, 4.5, because we can control that stability in other manners now.
Yeah, how you wrap it, the angles, stuff like
absolutely.
that.
So we look at kind of the overall stability, cross section stability is important. For energy transfer purposes, torque is just then used to fine tune it, because you put low torque on lighter weight shafts for average swingers, it's going to feel very harsh to them. So we've been able to bump it up and give feel. A smoke line is a perfect example of that. Higher torques than the original hazardous line was, but still those stiffness properties and those launch characteristics, and they feel better. That's the feedback that we get on the smoke shafts. Yeah,
absolutely. I noticed with the original hazardous, like the black, you get up to the 6.5 flex and they start to feel a little boardy. And you go to the smoke line and you go to the 6.5 flex and you can still feel it low and stuff, but it still feels stable. It doesn't feel like you're going to lose it, if you miss hit one, especially. With more people having access to launch monitors, how is True Temper adjusting to a more data-driven market?
Well, we've certainly taken advantage of that technology ourselves.
As you can see.
Yeah, and we have TrackMan over there. We've been in TrackMan for 15 years. I mean, we're one of the first ones to adopt it in our fitting process. When we do robot testing, we do player testing, we're on TrackMan. I mean, we're collecting that data. We just did an iron test recently with a small group and went through all the numbers, tried to compare, okay, this person hit it this way, this person hit it this way. We use it because if we're introducing a shaft that we're going to say is higher launching, it better be higher launching.
Absolutely.
And we need the launch monitor to prove that it is. And so many times now we can go to our aftermarket customers, our OEM partners, with that data on this new shaft. We've already done the testing. So here's how we're going to market the shaft. Here's what we found that it does with real data, real players, real world, and then have the robot kind of as a backup for that too. And it helps us get in that door. I mean, it really is a great way to get that perception out there that this is going to do what we say it's going to do, and here's why, here's the proof.
Absolutely. I think in today's age, if you're not utilizing some sort of technology, you're definitely doing yourself a disservice with as much as is available out there.
Oh, you're so far behind.
So far behind.
Yeah.
All right, and that's going to do it for part one. I tried to make sure that I answered and asked some questions that I get asked daily, more frequently, stuff like that, such as the high launch, low spin shaft, the heavier weight hybrid shafts, stuff like that. So if you have any more questions that you personally would like answered, drop it in the comment section below. I'll shoot an email off, see if I can't get an answer for you. Once again, make sure you like and subscribe, and thanks for tuning in.